had an enemy in the person of the devil, but yet he uses certain individuals. And at this juncture, Israel's real enemy was the Philistines. They had a long life history of some great battles as recorded in the Bible. And even in this 17th chapter, here they are going to war again. And as I did my research and come to find out in history that for in the case where great armies didn't have to collectively go into battle, they always had one ringleader, one strong person, one dominant person that represented that army that would go out, meaning that if someone would choose to fight this one person whose name is Goliath, fact about it, Goliath was a giant. Goliath stood over 9 feet tall. It says that his armor that he had on weighed in excess of 168 pounds. This was a full-grown man. This was a man of war. This was a man, he was a killing machine. And so what he did was he would go out and taunt the armies of Israel into battle. He was talking about them in essence, and he was talking about God. He was defying the God of Israel. And so that's why we tie in to say that Israel's enemy is really God's enemy. Listen, at the end of the day, you should not get it twisted. This is not even our fight. This is the Lord's battle. This is between God and the devil. It has always been like that. When you look at it any other way, that's how he gets the better of us. You lose sight of really what the spiritual truth is. So we're nothing but soldiers in God's army. But I'm glad that David, that we'll find out, stood up and said, I'm not scared of you. Because while Israel, and you can even read in the text in the 17th chapter, that even Saul, who was the chosen, at least by the people, king leader, he was scared to go into battle. The men were scared to go into battle. And so it came, and the irony or the funny thing about God, he does have jokes. David's daddy, Jesse, had sent David down there to check on Jesse's sons. He had 8 sons. David was the younger. He had 3 older boys that were enlisted in the army of Israel. So Jesse sent David, the little shepherd boy, a young man, down to check on his brothers and to take them some food. And as David went down there, he saw them afraid and scared and heard their conversations about big, massive Goliath. They heard them sitting back in fear and trembling. He approached the great armies and was inquiring about what was going on. And they, in essence, told him that whoever could kill the Philistine Goliath, that he would get riches and gold. And so David said that I'm not scared of you, and I'd go fight him. And so Saul was like, you ain't nothing but a youth. You a little guy. And this is a grown man, a man of war who was developed for such. And David had to recant, and I want to drop this off in our spirit, that if you look back over your life and you realize, and first of all, let me say, we all got some Goliaths in our lives. Amen. You don't confine your Goliath to a person. You can define it to a person, a situation, or a circumstance. There's Goliaths all around us. Poverty is a Goliath. Some people are succumbed to, they feel like they can't do no better. Some people are succumbing to divorce at massive rates, even in the Christian community. That's a known fact. It's a Goliath in that life. There's Goliaths everywhere. Yeah. So Saul was telling David that you need to put on my armor if you're going to go fight against this massive man. In essence, I'm telling you the story that David told Saul, I can't wear your armor. It's too big. It's too heavy. In essence, he said these words that I have not tried them. They have not been proven. So what is he saying? That these material or these carnal, these worldly weapons, while they can be effective, but the only way to defeat the real enemy, you got to go in the name of the Lord. David said, I have not tried him. And he said, I'm going to go in what I know. Can I throw out there also